If you chose message number one, what they will never tell you is they are very disappointed in some actions that they had when they knew you, or they currently know you, and there's something in the past that they're very disappointed in. They're very disappointed in themselves about some way that they acted or something they said. They're very disappointed in their inability to properly love you or show love to you. They're disappointed in the fact that they didn't say certain things when it would have made more of a difference to you. They're very disappointed in the fact that you don't have a stronger bond. What they will never tell you is that they desire to make amends with you and share something with you that they feel like they should have been sorry for or they should have talked about with you, but they're never going to say it because they feel so much shame surrounding it. What they're never going to tell you is that they're disappointed in your relationship, but most of all, they're disappointed in themselves as to why your relationship became strained. What they're never going to tell you is that they feel a lot of shame surrounding the relationship and sadness. Maybe you can pick this up off of them. Maybe you can feel that energy, but they're never going to verbally tell you that. What they're never going to tell you is that they wish you could just build a friendship again, just talking like normal, but they don't feel like that's ever going to be possible to reverse things and go back to a different place, to a different relationship. They feel like you should, or they wish you could be best friends or good friends that share everything. But what they'll never tell you is they don't feel like that can happen because of the damage they caused, and they're disappointed in themselves for that damage. What they'll never tell you is that they have pride over their sorrow and their shame, and it is that very pride that's keeping them from saying to you that they're disappointed in themselves. What they'll never tell you is that the things that they said to you, they never really meant, and they know that they were stupid for it or foolish for it in the moment or being ignorant. And what they'll never tell you is that it bothers them every day when they think about it. They try to distract themselves. They don't think about the mistakes that they made, and they try to avoid thinking about it. What they'll never tell you is all of these things because it causes them shame and embarrassment. And what they'll never tell you is that you deserved better than the way that they acted. Like your own reading, life coaching session, incantation, spell, or spirit channeling, go to naomitarot.com. All of my services are listed there. If you have any questions, go to naomitarot1199@gmail.com. Thanks. Bye. Message number two, channeled intuitive message using no cards. What they'll never tell you. What they'll never tell you is that you remind them of a person in the past. What they'll never tell you is that this person in the past hurt them deeply. What they'll never tell you is that this person from the past, they also loved a great deal. What they'll never tell you is that this person in the past was admired by many, and you remind them of this person. Maybe they don't want you to get a big head, or they don't want you to think you're always comparing them to somebody else, or they don't want you to think that they're really in love or in like with the other person and not you. But they're never going to tell you this because they feel like there's going to be too many repercussions for telling you. What they'll never tell you is that this person, their heart and the way they treated people reminds them of you, both good and bad. This person was both very physically vain, but they had a good empathic heart, meaning even though they were physically vain, they gave a lot to others. They cared a lot for others. What they'll never tell you is that this person and them had a falling out, and they fear the same happening with you if they were to tell you that this person reminds them of you. What they'll never tell you is that this person still has a piece of their heart. What they'll never tell you is that this person, even though they have a piece of their heart, they still feel very hurt. That piece of their heart is hurt, and they fear you will do the same thing. And so what they'll never tell you is, in so many ways, every day, you remind them of this person, something about your essence and spirit of being self-involved when it comes to the way you look or present yourself, but being so selfless with the way you act. What they'll never tell you is that they admire that quality, but they also fear that quality in you because it reminds them of that person that hurt them. And what they'll never tell you is that sometimes they do wish that things didn't end the way they did with that past person, and they hope to make it up with you. They hope to change the future with you as a symbol of what the other person represented to them. And they won't ever tell you that because they don't want you to think that you're just a placeholder for the past person, because you're not. They recognize your value. They recognize how important you are to them, and they recognize how meaningful you are in their life. But they feel like you'll feel that you're just a placeholder for the past person if they tell you how much you remind them of this person in their life, in their past. Like your own reading, life coaching session, incantation, spell, or spirit channeling, go to naomitarot.com. All of my services are listed there. If you have any questions, go to naomitarot1199@gmail.com. Thanks. Bye. What they'll never tell you is their biggest fear is being impoverished and losing money. What they'll never tell you is they actually are very concerned with money and prosperity. What they'll never tell you is that they actually are very concerned with success, even though they may act like they're not, like they could live with little, that things are okay, that they're not materialistic. What they'll never tell you is they do desire these things for their life. What they'll never tell you is that materialism and comfort is important to them. What they'll never tell you is they like a successful partner. What they'll never tell you is that money is indeed and materialism is indeed important to them. What they'll never tell you is that they like getting gifts. What they'll never tell you is that they're very particular about what they like. And what they'll never tell you is that sometimes they've been disappointed with the things that you've bought them or given to them. What they'll never tell you is that, unfortunately, they don't want to seem materialistic. There's such a pressure from society not to seem that way, even though society is inherently in and of itself materialistic and supportive of the ego. They don't want to admit that. So what they'll never tell you is that they love to feel special through things, and they love to feel like the person that they're with cares about them through showing them through the things they get. That's their main love language, giving gifts. What they'll also never tell you, though, is that their main fear is losing their job, being impoverished, not having a home to live in, not having a secure place. What they'll never tell you is that their biggest fear is not having enough as they age. What they'll never tell you is that their strongest desire in life is just to feel like they have more than enough money. Materialism is important to them. They might be an earth sign, maybe not. They might be a Leo. They don't have to be. But what they'll never tell you is that how much you make and how much they make is extremely important to them, even if they say it's not. And what they'll never tell you is this isn't based on trying to be better than other people. This is based on a need to feel security, a deep need, much like Taurus is, to feel security, not for the show of the ego like Leo, but the energy of Taurus to feel that stability, that security, that protectiveness. And what they'll never tell you is that they appreciate the things you do, but they wish that you would have a vision of success the way they do. They wish that your vision of success would be as optimistic and ambitious as theirs, because they feel like you're not ambitious enough. But what they would never tell you is though they love you, they feel like you can try a bit harder. And what they'd never tell you is that they feel like they deserve more than they've gotten. So it's not really up to you to try to read their minds or to get them to say that. It's up to you to decide whether or not this is the type of partnership you want to be in, whoever this person is, or if the way you feel and the way you think is enough. And you don't need to hear the things that they never tell you, but that is how they truly feel. Like your own reading, life coaching session, incantation, spell, or spirit channeling, go to naomitarot.com. All of my services are listed there. If you have any questions, go to naomitarot1199@gmail.com. Thanks. Bye.